Thank you for tuning into The Frame this evening, brought to you by Access Framingham. I'm Brendan Fitzpatrick. We begin tonight with a wrap-up of plenty of matters that were addressed during Tuesday night's Framingham City Council meeting. Tax rate shifts for the upcoming fiscal year have been approved by city councilors. It signals a tick up for residents and a decline for commercial, industrial, and personal property owners. The vote during Tuesday night's meeting came following the Financial Subcommittee's recent recommendations to shift the commercial, industrial, and personal, or CIP rate by just under 0.01% to a 1.69% level. The split tax rate system within the city dictates that the tax burden thus shifts away from the CIP sector and towards the residential sector. Councilors also balked at any business, open space, and residential exemptions for the time being. The council's vote was 10-1 in favor of the changes, with at-large city councilor George King, the chair of the Finance Subcommittee, the sole contrary vote. Chris Connolly, the head of the Framingham Business Association and the co-owner of Herb Connolly Chevrolet, spoke to city councilors during the public hearing portion at the Memorial Building to express his appreciation for the decision.
We've been working on this for years, trying to make Framingham more competitive in terms of having a commercial tax rate that's more affordable for small business owners. So we want to attract people to Framingham.
To stay competitive, it's a small amount and a small shift to show the business community that the city of Framingham cares.
This comes as the city continues work on their 5-year property revaluation. Chief Assessor Edward O'Neill's presentation on Tuesday showed that property values across Framingham have gone up compared to the 2023 fiscal year. Residential values saw a 12.4% increase, while commercial, industrial, and personal properties increased by 5.2%, 10.7%, and 6.1% respectively. Still, the city is anticipating FY 2024 to show the lowest levels of new growth since FY 2017, resulting in an increase to the tax levy. Keeping with money matters now, additional financial documents were presented to the City Council this week as talks regarding financial transparency continued.
District 8 City Councilor John Stefanini requested the agenda item in an attempt to have searchable and digital reports on the city's checkbook, ARPA expenditures, and specialty account transactions published. A motion for a roll call vote could have been carried out on the matter through this agenda item. Luis Miller, the city's CFO and Director of Administration and Finance, told the council that all of the requested data has been posted on the city's website. King said that after multiple requests for the reports, he now thinks there's a good amount of information now at the public's disposal, adding his belief that coordination with the city's new part-time accountant to solidify proper reporting and formatting methods is the way forward. Still, Stefanini expressed frustration about the readability and accessibility of the information.
So all this data that you've put into the system in the last week is great, but it isn't in a digestible format that we've asked for, nor does it necessarily give us the ability to look at things.
With respect to reports, they do take a lot of time. So just to produce this list of the special accounts required 2 staff people, the new accountant, who is this part-time person, to produce a report. The accounts have no name associated with them. So we had to produce a second report and have someone physically enter the name of every account so it could be a readable report for you.
The motion for a roll call vote was withdrawn by Stefanini after Miller told the council that they would work to ensure that specific details on special accounts would be detailed and cleaned up prior to their meeting on December 19th.
City councilors also heard the annual report from the Framingham Sustainability Committee, made up of 9 people, in order to report to the mayor and other government officials on Tuesday.
Aaron Ellsworth and Amy Pawelka, the chair and vice chair of the group, presented their findings to the council. They highlighted their major focuses for the next year, including more community engagement, prioritizing funding, supporting curbside composting, and other climate resiliency improvements locally.
The Sustainability Committee really hopes to be more of an anchor in a lot of the boards and relationships that we think are important to all of the sustainability efforts going on in the city.
Support for those ideas were echoed by city councilors, especially those revolving around community education. Michael Cannon of District 4 was looking to make sure that objections to climate resiliency projects in the future can be navigated.
As dollars become more competitive, as you know, there's always someone to say, no, here are the reasons we can't do that. The better we are as a municipality in articulating and overcoming those objections on the front end, I think the more successful we'll be.
Councilors spoke about the opt-in stretch code during the presentation as well. It's a mandate that some Massachusetts communities have opted into. It requires new buildings to be built with accommodations for electric utilities. The City Council is mixed on the matter. Some see it as a way to reach carbon emission goals established for 2030, while others are hesitant since they worry it could leave Framingham in a bad spot when it comes to development compared to other cities and towns. Still, at-large City Councilor Janet Liam-Bruno agreed with the Sustainability Committee that it's vital to educate residents on the topic.
We're heading in that direction anyway, the stretch code. We are going to be adopting a lot of these things. So I think your point on education is very important.
And you can learn more about all those developments during this week's City Council meeting, as well as other stories across Framingham, by visiting our website, www.theframe.news. The latest information and features we have to offer are there, including our community's local Instagram feeds. From need-to-know announcements to events going on citywide, you can stay up to date with us. Sign up for our newsletter as well in order to stay up to date with The Frame. Our tip line is also open, in case you didn't know. Send an email to theframe@accessfram.tv or dial 508-216-0003 to leave us a voicemail. Let's take a look at our forecast for the next few days. Friday is looking like it will be a mostly sunny day. Highs in the upper 40s and lows in the upper 20s. Saturday's outlook shows partly sunny skies early on with more cloud coverage into the evening. Highs in the upper 40s and lows in the upper 30s. Finally, for Sunday, expect mostly cloudy conditions with a chance of rain throughout the evening. Temps in the upper 50s for a high and lows in the upper 40s. All in all, that's not bad for December. And speaking of which, it might not feel like it out there right now, especially with the potential for near 60-degree temperatures this weekend, but colder days and nights are ahead. After all, the official start of winter is only 2 weeks away. With that, it can be a time for many to do some upkeep on their homes and businesses to better prepare for the cold season. The Frame's Mackenzie Wright joins us now to share more. Mackenzie?
Yeah, Brendan, like it or not, braving the cold is something us New Englanders have to deal with year after year. And that goes for our homes, too. We sat down to learn some tips and tricks that can help you winterize your home, which essentially entails adapting or preparing your home or business for cold weather. And according to those we spoke to, there could be an added benefit to thorough winterization, more money in your pocket.
Going around to all of my windows and making sure that they're locked, because when you lock them, it actually creates a tighter seal, so you're not losing, heat out that way. Think about if you've got some of those really sunny windows in the wintertime. Open up the curtains, let the natural light come in and heat up a room. That can actually make a difference. And likewise, when it's the sun goes past those windows, close those curtains to create another barrier from losing heat out through the windows. Making sure furniture isn't covering your vents so that your systems are operating more efficiently.
The list goes on and on. Caulk around baseboards or crown molding if you feel a draft, or get a door sweep to seal in the heat. Chris McKinnon, a spokesperson for Eversource, says those little tasks, which may seem small, can actually make a big difference when it comes to energy savings.
Ultimately, it does come down to how much energy you're using in your own home, and that really does affect your bottom line on the bill. So anything you can do to reduce your, energy use throughout the winter months will definitely help bottom line on those bills and save a little bit of money.
And what about the systems that actually heat your home? It can be a good idea to give them a thorough inspection.
Check the filters, make sure they are clean. The exhaust, make sure the exhaust vents are going outside, they're clean. Sometimes during the summer, we found like birds' nests and things clogging there. The landscaper, when they cut the grass, the thing gets clogged on the front of the vents. And then when they turn on the system, they might work now, that's not so cold, but when it gets really, really cold, with that restriction, that prevents the system to work properly.
That's Obi Rosa, General Manager of Obi Comfort Solutions, an HVAC contractor right here in Framingham. Obi has been in the business of replacing and installing heating and cooling for almost 2 decades. He's seen his industry change a lot since starting in 2006. When it comes to heating your home more efficiently, he says the technology has come a long way.
You have an old oil furnace you can replace, and installing a new heat pump will do the same thing, costing less.
Which sounds great in theory, but investing in a state-of-the-art heat pump can set you back thousands of dollars, which can be a deterrent for many people. But according to Obi, Mass Save could be invaluable to someone interested in taking the leap to newer, more efficient energy systems.
People that otherwise would not even think about it, because they said it's a lot cheaper for me just to take this old Conca and put another one similar with the same efficiency. But with this, they can change and do something that's going to be beneficial for them, not just now, take care of the problem, but that's something that will help them along the way. And with Mass Save, they help you with upfront cost. You can use the 7 years finance, and you can use the rebates.
Mass Save is an initiative of Massachusetts designed to empower residents to make more energy-efficient upgrades to their homes and businesses. Massachusetts is a national leader in energy efficiency, with their sights set on a more sustainable future. Take electrification, for example. According to Mass Save, replacing fossil fuel technology with high-efficiency electric options, like those heat pumps Obi was talking about, can significantly reduce carbon emissions. Not only are they more environmentally friendly, their efficiency can be good for your wallet too.
We see customers say, no need that, and then after they did, they say after all they can save, like $600,000, $1,200 a year just for the little things they did, the little changes they did, and at the end of the day, those, like you said, those things really add up.
A lot of businesses recommend taking advantage of Mass Save, including Eversource, which is a sponsor of the program.
For starters, signing up for a no-cost, no-obligation home energy assessment where an approved contractor will come out to your home and actually scan it from top to bottom and figure out, where are you losing heat going out of your windows or out of your roof. And they can make some personalized recommendations for our customers on weatherization, insulation, changing out lighting.
Beyond home energy and heating, there's plenty of other maintenance you should keep in mind this winter, like insulating water pipes in unheated areas of your home to avoid freezing, cleaning out your gutters to avoid ice dams, or clearing any buildup you may have in your chimney. And in addition to checking those smoke detectors,
check your carbon monoxide detectors. Make sure they're in good working condition and just press them. Change the barriers. As the carbon monoxide starts beeping, it's a time for you to see what the source is. And never take the battery off because this is annoying. If that thing is making a noise, it might be a cause for it. Trying to find it.
if you're interested in exploring the many resources Mass Save has to offer, you can check out their website at www.masssave.com. We would love to hear from you. Have you utilized Mass Save in any way? If so, what was your experience like? Send us an email at theframe@accessfram.tv. For now, I'm Mackenzie Wright.
Thank you very much for that, Mackenzie. Now, a reminder that you can always look for us on social media to stay in touch. We're on Instagram at @FrameNews_. That's the same handle for our account on X. Follow us there for daily updates and tag us when you're out and about in the community. You can also subscribe to the Access Framingham YouTube channel and hit the bell icon to get notifications when new Frame episodes go up each week. And check out our Facebook page just by searching for The Frame. Shifting gears now to our weekly focus. This past weekend, a group of community members, including city officials, DPW workers, and the Framingham Police Department, put up wreaths in honor of our veterans. They traveled to 8 locations in total around the city. U.S. vet and Framingham Police Lieutenant Robert Downing helped organize the event. Downing sat down with us to share more.
So I did 23 years in the Army. I did a full year in Iraq in 04 and 05, which the police department was great in supporting that. And then, as you know, when you're deployed like that, you look at, your times here and your selfless service is what they call it. So I just enjoy helping out veterans, and then there's so many veterans out there that are in need. So I try to find ways, or we do the council in the city, to help out veterans in any way. So yeah, basically, like I said, I did 23 years, and that's where I get my drive.
Could you tell our audience a little bit about this initiative that's going on this December?
With Reese, there's no fancy terms for not just me, it's a lot of people in the city. the councilman, the mayor in support, Charlie Russo, DPW. There's numerous partners in this. And basically we just get 8 to 12 wreaths and we bring them around to cemeteries inside the city that we know they're veterans, and we just try to honor the veterans. We just don't have the money to do each individual grave like I would like to, but so we just put one big one. So if you do see a large wreath at the cemetery, it's honoring all the veterans at the cemeteries in the city.
How long is the planning process for that situation been in the works? How long have you been working alongside other people to make this a reality?
Well, it's kind of an offshoot of when we did the Veterans Park 3 years ago. So it's the same working group of people that like to enjoy helping veterans. The first year, like anything else, the first year is a little time consuming with the planning, but then after that, it just kind of it follows suit with the same people. And then on Saturday it was a all morning event. We just moved around to different sites. It's just something we try to do something for the veterans in the city.
Going forward, in order to increase support for veterans, what are some of the initiatives that you're looking to highlight when it comes to locally to Framingham?
So we continue to work with the city VSO and her assistant. They do a great job being on the Veterans Council. We work closely with the council and the city. So we're trying to, working on some new initiatives, some new ideas. I mean, we always try to plan a couple events each year for veterans and try to get more veteran input. So it's kind of like a work in progress every year. The Veterans Council meeting is a great way for people to get involved in the veterans in Framingham, and we're currently rebuilding and restructuring it. So if you'd like to help out veterans, I mean, Eric Finn currently is the chairman, or you can just go to the VSO's office in the basement in City Hall, and we welcome anyone's participation or any ideas to help out veterans any way we can and their families.
In your experience of being deployed, I'm sure the idea of service members having to be away for the holidays, not home. What do you want people to keep in mind about those sacrifices that they make? Time spent away from family, that sort of thing.
There's a lot of veterans out there that are deployed or are in need. And if you could keep them in mind, I know Christmas time, I mean, it's right now, times are tough for a lot of people, but there are some veterans that are in need at this time of Christmas. And I know the city's VSO has a couple families that we're trying to help out and their kids in the time of need. And like I said, I mean, my heart does bleed a little bit for a soldier who's overseas fighting for this country, and they have family and kids over here, and they do need something. So we try to do a little bit more for.
Wonderful, Lieutenant. Thank you very much again for taking time out of your day to speak with us. We appreciate it.
Thanks. You guys are great. I appreciate everything you do.
Now, if you're interested in getting involved, the Veterans Council meets on the third Wednesday of every month. The next meeting will be December the 20th at 5:30 p.m. at the Memorial Building. And for all of us here at the Frame, we want to take a moment to thank all veterans for their service. Let's now take a look at what else is going on in our community, as city officials are reminding residents that the last day of the season to drop things off at the Framingham Yard Waste Facility is Sunday the 10th. Leaves, grass, brush, and plant waste will all be accepted from those who present their valid recycling center permit. The Dudley Road facility will be open on its final day of the season from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Framingham officials are seeking volunteers for the city's traffic commission. Traffic manners citywide are addressed by the commission, which is made up of residents alongside representatives from the police, fire, public works, and school sectors. At this time, the group is in need of a resident to serve in an at-large role, along with a local business representative and someone who lives in the downtown area, defined as the area within a mile-wide radius starting at the intersection of Route 126 and Route 135. The deadline to apply is Friday, December the 29th. And finally tonight, after last week's tree lighting in front of the Memorial Building, Framingham commemorated the beginning of Hanukkah with a menorah lighting ceremony Thursday afternoon. Residents were invited to partake in the event, which was held at the Framingham Center Common at 4 p.m., right before the first night of the Jewish holiday. This year, Hanukkah runs through December 15th. We'd like to take a moment now to wish you a very happy Hanukkah. And if you're still in the holiday spirit this weekend, you're invited to partake in some caroling by the Common this Sunday. The free event will be held by the Framingham History Center alongside Voices of Metro West from 4 to 5:30 p.m. at the Village Hall, on the Common. A reminder that The Frame is an initiative of Access Framingham, your local media center located right here in the city. Access Framingham is an independent nonprofit 501c3 and provides low to no cost training and creative opportunities in broadcast television, podcasting, animation, and video making. All residents, students, organizations, and businesses in Framingham are eligible to become members. Whether you're looking to learn something new, host your own show, or be around creative people getting more involved in the community, you're welcome to join. Visit www.accessfram.tv for more details on that. Access Framingham can be found on RCN Channel 3, RCN HD Channel 1100, Comcast Channel 9, and Verizon Channel 43. That will be it for this week in your Framingham News in Focus. For everyone here at The Frame, thank you for spending time with us this evening. My name is Brendan Fitzpatrick. We'll talk to you next week. Take care.